Hey everybody, welcome back to the Royal Read. I am so glad you decided to stop by and see what I'm reading on. But before we get started, you already know have to do it. And that is invite everyone in. Listen, if you want to be a part of the best community on these internet streets, and you have been hanging out with us, listening to the podcast over there in the comments, and you're still not subscribed, all I can say is why? Why haven't you subscribed and become a part of our tribe? It is so easy. All you have to do is look down there in the comments, look around, find that subscribe button, and go ahead on and subscribe. And while you're in there, hit the notification bell too, so you'll know when I upload or when I just want to pop in. And give me a thumbs up to fight my nemesis, the beast, the algorithm. Y'all, I am getting on top. I'm coming up. I am. And it's all because of y'all. So thank you for the thumbs up. Just thank you for riding with me. Also, I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to all of the readers who decide to support the channel by watching the commercials. Y'all always do a great job, and I appreciate it so very much because it helps so very much. So thank you. Thank you for just doing that. I know it's not easy. I know it's not something that is enjoyable all the time, but y'all do it anyway, and I really appreciate it. Also, over in the corner, that's our join button. That's for channel memberships. And if you choose to become a channel member and a part of the reading club, you will be supporting this channel to grow, to improve, and to continue. And I will be so grateful, so thankful, so over the moon appreciative to have your support. And if you just want to do a one-time donation, look around and find that super thanks button and click it, because all donations to the channel is always greatly appreciated. All right, y'all, we do have some shout outs. We do have some super thanks. And first up is my girl, Beverly Johnson, 6875. Yes, Beverly has been with me for a minute, and she is always supportive. She's always coming through. She is always in those comments. She is just everything, and I appreciate her support so very much. So thank you, Beverly. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Angela May came through. Yes, she did. Angela is just everything. I have to say that because she is. She really is. She is so smart and so kind and so sweet and so supportive. I mean, she is always in those comments, and she is always dropping her knowledge, and her comments are always on point. So thank you, Angela. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And my girl Jane Press came through. Yes, she did. Jane is one of the original readers. She was here right at the beginning. She has been supporting ever since. She is the best of the best, and I am so grateful that she saw something in this channel before anybody else did, and she has ridden with me ever since. So thank you, Jane. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for continuing to ride with the read. And faithful Yulette came through as usual. She is so faithful. She is the best of the best of the best. She is the ride or die. Always coming through, always supporting, always in the comments. I mean, I could not ask for anything more from Yulette. She is the best, like I said, and I am so grateful. I am just over the moon to have her as a part of this community. So thank you, Yulette. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. And Patricia Smith came through. Yes, Patricia said, y'all are not going to leave me out. I'm going to come through as well. And she did. Yes, she did. She is a ride or die, always coming through. Her support is unwavering. I'm telling you, she is the best. Chef's kiss. And I am so grateful and so thankful to have her as a part of this community because she makes it better. She does. So thank you, Patricia. Thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for riding with the read. All right, y'all, I'm going to play this and we'll talk on the other side. All right, y'all, I want to give another big shout out and a big thank you to Beverly Johnson, 6875, Angela May, Jane Press, my girl, you let, yes, you let, and Patricia Smith. Y'all are everything. Y'all are the reason why I get up every day and do this podcast because I know y'all appreciate it. Y'all do, and I appreciate you. So thank you for the super thanks, but most of all, thank you for being here. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is, and y'all know what I do when I am putting the read together. I hit these internet streets, and let me tell you, they are still smoking hot. They are blazing. They are not getting up off of that family's neck over there. I'm telling you, it is a lot of things that have popped up, and we're going to talk about all of it. We are because it's too delicious not to. And we're going to talk about our favorite prince. Yes, he was out and about. And I think Megan was with him, but I didn't see a picture of her. But we're going to talk about what he was up to and has been up to. And we're going to talk about what's going on with that family. We're going to talk about Willie and Kitty. I'm telling you, that crisis manager. Woo, I saw one squatty said that crisis manager needs a crisis manager. And we're going to talk about the new narrative that they want to try. I'll say the new spin that they want to put on this whole Andrew thing. Yes, I'm telling you, and nobody is falling for it. We have just so much to talk about. Y'all know I got some other little tidbits in there I'm going to chit chat about. So, yes, y'all lock in. Y'all know I never want to keep you long. And it is my goal not to keep you long today, but I promise you, I'm going to keep you entertained. So let's start with this. Let's get started. And this is what the BBC put up, BBC Breakfast. And that was one of the first things I saw when I jumped on these internet streets. And it was this segment that the BBC Breakfast had did on Harry. Harry speaking to these parents who have lost their children due to social media. And I mean, it was a long segment. I mean, the longest one I have saw on the BBC Breakfast in a minute because I think they are so starved. They are absolutely desperate to have some kind of good news from that family. They know Harry is the only one that has come out of this whole thing shining like a new penny. And so, of course, they wanted to feature him doing something that is so terrific. And they wanted to try to just glom onto that and try to make that family look good secondhand. Because we know it's secondhand because they ran Harry away from there. They said that they didn't want Harry as a working role. And here they are trying to piggyback on everything he does because he is the only one with a backbone and any morals. But this is what they posted. It says, none of you should be here. And that's what Prince Harry was saying to these parents. It says Prince Harry has joined British families in Los Angeles who say that their children died after using social media. As a landmark court case is in the United States accusing Instagram and YouTube of creating addiction. Well, we know that's true. We know that's true, and they know it's true. And so I am interested in how this case is going to come out because it's true. It has been studied and proven that social media is an addiction. But I digress. Yes, they featured our prince, and it was a good segment. I mean, they didn't take any shots or anything at him. They wanted some kind of good news story that absolutely was adjacent to that family. Yes, and this particular swati that posted it said, Prince Harry and Meghan continue to support families seeking online safeguards for children around the world. Now, isn't it a contrast? Here, Harry and Meghan trying to protect children, and that family over there could have not given a rip about children because they had pedos running through the halls of Effingham Palace. I mean, just taking the place over. Even after J.E. was convicted, he was in and out of Buckingham Palace just like he paid the rent. Yes, he was. So, yeah, it is a stark contrast between the two, isn't it? And I must say, I love it. I love it because, like I said yesterday, the very last slide I put up, Harry and Meghan were too good for that family, and they prove it each and every day. And today, they really proved it. They did, and I love it. And I'm going to put this up. This squatty said, Prince Harry working for a better and safer world for children. Far, far, far away from a certain family who has proven to be so connected to pedos. Where is the lie? Where is it? And here's Harry the night before with some of these parents who are going to court against Meta and YouTube. Yes, Harry is out here supporting. He is. And I love it. I do. And the parent that posted this said parent survivors needed this night. A night filled with love and support as we progress through the social media addiction trial here in LA. And it says, thank you to the Duke of Sussex and Archwell Foundation for hosting a beautiful evening. Yes. So Meghan maybe wasn't there, but I'm sure she was there in spirit. But one thing you cannot get around is it is just such a stark contrast between the American royals and the ones across the pond, isn't it? It is getting more and more starker every day, and I love it. And this squatty kind of broke down what Harry was doing and the court case. And I'm going to read it. It says, Prince Harry has met with the bereaved families of Los Angeles to provide a global spotlight on their stories. He has described the fight as a David versus Goliath battle against multi-billion-dollar corporations. Here's what's going on. Prince Harry has publicly called for digital immunity to end, arguing the tech companies should be held legally liable for the design of their products in the same way cars and toy manufacturers are. Prince Harry has joined the plaintiffs, including several British families who traveled to LA to testify. These parents allege that their children died by unaliving and suffered from extreme eating disorder and self-harm after being hooked by the platform's recommendation engines. And we all know that that's the algorithm. That's the one I be fighting all the time. My nemesis. And also that For You page. Yes, what comes down your timeline. All of these commercials, all of these different videos, they designed them for you, they say, but it is for maximum impact on you. And that is what Harry is saying. That is what these parents are saying. They're pretty much saying that these big tech companies are putting profit before people. And we know that to be true as well. This is no surprise. This is capitalism at its worst. So, yeah, this is what Harry and these families are trying to fight against. It goes on and says the trial currently taking place in Los Angeles County Superior Court targets the world's biggest tech giants, primarily Meta, Instagram, and Alphabet, YouTube. The case claims the companies use predatory algorithms, intermittent reinforcement, the slot machine effect of scrolling, and dopamine triggering notifications to keep children online, even when it led to severe mental health crises. Lawyers for the family, led by prominent attorney Mark Lanier, argues that these platforms are not neutral tools but are deliberately engineered as addiction machines. What y'all think about that? I know these internet streets they can string you out. They can if you let them. If you don't fall back every now and then, you will stay on social media for hour after hour after hour. I used to really, really have a problem with TikTok. I would go on TikTok and lose about 3 hours, not even knowing what happened to them. You can do that. You just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll. I don't like TikTok now, so I don't have that issue anymore. But yeah, these internet streets, you have to be cautious on them. I'm just saying. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this court case. I am going to keep my eye on it because if it's ever a class action suit, if that ever happens, I am going to jump in. Yes, I am, and get my little $5 or $10 because that's all you get when you get into a class action suit. But I'm gonna do my part. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'm gonna put this up and look at me, son Harriman. He posted about Harry. He reposted that whole BBC breakfast, that whole segment, the video, and the post, and said this: as always, vulnerable and kind. And what he mean by that is when Harry was talking to these parents, he got a little verklempt. He did. He got a little emotional. And I think the reason for him getting emotional is that he's a dad now. He has a son and a daughter, and he wants to make this world the best world that he can in order for them to grow up in, to become adults, and to thrive in. So you know that Harry has some feelings when it comes to that family over there and them cloaking for all these pedos. And all of this has come out because I don't think Harry had any idea all of that was going on. Harry is learning right along with us how low down, how dirty, how evil, how heinous these people that he called family really are. Yes, I think Harry is feeling it, finding all this out in real time that your father, your brother, your sister in law, and everyone in that institution is rotten to the core, to the bone. It must be very, very jarring for Harry. Now, he already knew that they were low down, but he did not know that they were this low down. I don't believe he had any idea. Like I said, he is finding out with us in real time. Can you imagine? I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up. While that family across the pond is ablaze, Megan is going about her business. Yes, minding her business like a big boss lady does. And she put out a new grouping, a new bundle, 3 of them. And this particular squatty posted about it. It says the perfect bundle is now available. The complete as ever by Megan pantry in one click. I honestly think this is the way to go. Next up, hopefully a monthly delivery service for these amazing goods. Yes, wouldn't it be great to have it on auto delivery? Yes. I love it. I love it. But yes, this new bundles are the whole pantry. I just thought the Valentine edit was the best, and mine will be here tomorrow. I cannot wait. But I digress. Yes, to have these bundles and have them at such great deals, it is the best idea of late. I really feel like it. So, yes, this is happening. Megan continues to mind the business that pays her. I love it. And this particular squatty posted all 3 of the new bundles and said this: Today, as ever, by Megan launched 3 new thoughtfully curated pantry bundles. To celebrate the launch, they are currently priced 15% off. Complete as ever bundle, the go-to hostess gift, and when the day slows set, it says grab one before the sale ends. Yes, if you didn't get anything for Valentine and you look in your pantry and your supplies getting low, this is the way to go. It really is. If I hadn't just purchased the Valentine set, I would go with one of these bundles. I would, because it is value there. Plus, you get a 15% off. Yeah, so come on through, Megan. Come on through. I'm loving it. And something else I'm loving, look at this. This particular squatty did a repost, and the original post says Cookie Queens, the cute documentary executive produced by Prince Harry and Meghan, has been officially selected to be spotlighted at the South by Southwest Film and TV Festival from March 12th through 18th in Austin, Texas. I wonder if Megan is going to show up. You know, her and Harry went to the South by Southwest, that whole summit. I am wondering if she will show up again, her and our favorite prince. Let's hope, let's keep our fingers crossed. But yes, Cookie Queens continues to be a winner. Yes. And the squatty that reposted this said, this is wonderful news. How sweet. Hashtag Cookie Queens. Yes. I cannot wait until it shows up in a place where I will be able to view it, to watch it. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what this movie is all about. And I'm going to put this up. We're going to transition to the dark side because it's some more stuff that has come out, and that family is ablaze over there. And none of the flying monkeys or the royalists or the monarchists have enough water in their tanks to help put them out. Yes, it just keeps on burning and burning and burning. And this right here, I really feel if Prince Andrew ever faces any consequences of his actions, it will be because of this. This was in iPaper, and it says Andrew Mountbatten Windsor appears to have sent a second batch of documents linked to his work as UK trade envoy to JE. Newly released documents show. And as you can see, the title of the article is Andrew sent second batch of confidential trade documents to JE. If anything gets him, I really feel this is going to get him, because how are you going to get around it? How will they be able to get around this? He has clearly committed a very serious crime here. So how are they going to get him out of this? Y'all know what my theory is, and that is they're going to Diana him. That's the only way I can get my head around that they might be able to get out of the mess that is Prince Andrew. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but this is the serious thing. And I want to put this up. This is another reason why it is a problem for him. It was a apparent quid pro quo. Yes. And this, look at this. It said apparently Prince Andrew sent the confidential papers to JE, and JE then paid off Sarah Ferguson's debts. If that's not an illegal exchange, then I don't know what is. What y'all think about that? Yes, they're saying after he sent him the documents, not long after, J.E. paid off his very stupid ex-wife's debts. That's a quid pro quo. It is. And that right there will put you in jail every time. Not sometime, every time, because I really feel like they are willing to let him go on the pedo stuff. But this right here, I don't think so, which is disgusting to me. Why do you have such little value, when it comes to children? But when it comes to money, they get serious. And speaking of money, they have started a new narrative about this money that was paid to Virginia Dufresne. Yes, they are now saying that they did not just give that money to Virginia Dufresne for Prince Andrew. No. It was a loan. Look what Good Morning Britain said. It says reports this morning claim that the late Queen lent the then Prince Andrew £7 million so he could pay off his sex abuse accuser, Virginia Dufresne, and stop her from taking him to court. Now, this is the lie they have planted today, trying to wash themselves clean of this whole mess. Like, no. We didn't give him the money. We loaned him the money. All I can say is, for all the people who believe that, I have a bridge for sale in California. Don't y'all forget about that. Just get with me, because I am willing to sell. Because this is the dumbest thing I have heard in a long time. They are absolutely grasping for straws here. They are trying to do anything that they can to try to distance themselves from Andrew, the very same Andrew who they protected at every turn. Every turn they put up a wall of protection for, and now all of a sudden they want to distance themselves. No. You cannot do that. He will forever be yours. I'm just saying. And the squatty that posted this said King Charles and William's PR stunt claiming thoughts are with the victims when they are complicit in covering up the truth about Andrew, contributing towards paying off his sex accuser makes the royal family complicit. They cannot claim that they did not know. They should all be questioned. Where is the lie? We all know that Congressman Ro Khanna, he absolutely went to the heart of it and said, how dare the horse act as if she is somehow above being called out. He said, no, you should come and tell what you know. Yes, yes, yes. Now we know that they all contributed to covering up for Andrew. Yes, they did. They all knew and they all chipped in. I'm just saying. And when I say they all chipped in, this is what I'm talking about. This was on the front page of the Scum, and as you can see, it says Royal Exclusive Credit Card. Yes, they want to pretend like it was like him putting it on a credit card. As you can see, it says Queen Philip and Charles loan Andrew the 12 million for Virginia payoff. He hasn't paid back a penny. Well, we know it wasn't going to happen in the first place. He never was going to pay it back because they had just as much skin in the game as Andrew did. J.E. was all up in Effingham Palace, all on royal properties, just treating it like it was his property, having people to come over, have all these women of the nights sit there. I mean, they were running the place, the pedos were. And that is the reason why that money was paid because, like I said, they all had skin in the game. And this particular squatty posted about it and said these parasites didn't care about the victims, they just wanted to stay on top. Why is the Sun hiding the other contributor's name? I bet it's William. He's close to the editor, and I know the details allegedly. And look what they said. They said the Queen paid £7 million. Philip paid £3 million. And let's talk about that for a minute. They're saying that Philip paid £3 million after he was dead. They say he paid £3 million from his estate. Who believes that? Who believes that? I don't. I don't. But they want to spread it around even to dead Philip at the time. And it says Charles £1.5 million and other royals £500,000. Now, this is what this squatter is taking issue with. Who are the other royals? Well, we know who it is, but we are going to go back to, I want to go back to Philip. Philip had been dead, what, a year more? And they went in his estate and paid £3 million. I'm like, I don't believe none of this because the Queen had the money. The Queen was a billionaire. Okay, and I mean a billionaire. She had the coins. Why would they have to get £7 million from her, £3 million from Philip's estate, and Charles only gave 1.5? I don't nobody believe that. I don't believe that. Not in the least. And we all know that Philip's estate is sealed, so we only are going by what they are saying. I don't believe it for a minute. I don't believe none of this. I believe all of them was in on it. Now I don't know. The Queen maybe played it smart and spread it around for everybody to have skin in the game. I'm just saying. And so because of that, everybody had to chip in. What y'all think about this? I don't believe that they took $3 million from Philip's estate. I believe Charles paid that money, and he wants to make it seem like he paid the very least of it. And we all know if he paid so little, why did he get so much out of it? And what I mean by that is he got Queen Camilla out of it because right after this money was paid, the Queen came out sitting in front of her red boxes and made the announcement that she would like the horse not to be known as the princess consort, but the Queen consort. Yes, And he got that out of this. Nobody can make me believe any different. You telling me he only paid 1.5 million pounds for that? Much as the queen could not stand Camilla, you telling me the queen allowed him to get away with just that? I don't believe it. I really don't believe it. I would believe it more if they said Charles paid all of it. Because, like I said, he got the most out of it. I'm just saying. Y'all tell me what y'all think. But this squatty said, remember, the out of court settlement wasn't only paid up because of the Jubilee. Prince Andrew was also facing deposition. It was expected for the last few days, for the first time, putting his account on the record and facing personal questions, giving evidence under oath. Now, that right there is a very good point. What y'all think about that? I believe it is multiple reasons why they paid that money. And like I said, all of them had skin in the game. All of them had issues and they did not want to be exposed. Yeah, this right here, they did not want him to be put under oath because he would have some tales to tell. I'm just saying. And this squatty said the point of changing the money from a gift to a loan, that it lessens the responsibility of the firm. They are hoping by convincing you it was a loan, y'all will back off from tying the firm directly to the cover up. Don't fall for it. It was never a loan. That spin. Exactly. Because this story was planted in the scum. And if I had to bet who planted it, I would say Effingham Palace. Because this seems like something that Charles would do. And we know that Charles and the scum works hand in glove. So yeah, I'm thinking it was Charles. But we also have been told by the flying monkeys that William is in on every decision made about this crisis. So it could have been them both coming up with this, trying to lesser the blame for the monarchy. I'm thinking it was probably both of them. Yeah. But back to that whole money situation. Yeah, that other. We all know that's Willie and Kitty. We know that because who else in that family has 500,000 pounds? Not Anne. Anne has too many people she has to take care of. She has Zara and her meathead husband and all their kids. They got about 3 or 4 of them. Then she has Peter and his ex-wife and all of his kids. I think he got 2 or 3 and a girlfriend. And can't afford 500,000 pounds. She just can't do it. So it has to be Willie and Kitty. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but everybody is thinking that it's Willie and Kitty. And my response to that is, why? Why did Willie and Kitty chip in 500,000 pounds? A question. I wonder will we ever get the answer to that? And I'm going to put this up. Look at this. This was shown in Congress. And this particular squatty posted about it. And it said, a woman pictured underneath Andrew Mountbatten Windsor inside of J.E.'s New York mansion has been identified in the U.S. proceedings as a victim of sex trafficking. Congressman Ted Lieu demands to know why Andrew has not been prosecuted. That's why I'm saying, y'all, it's going to be hard for him to slip through this loop. It's going to be hard for him. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all still think he's going to be able to get away with it. I'm starting to believe he is not. I'm just saying. And I'm going to put this up because this squatty right here puts into words exactly how I feel about that family and this scandal. They say this: at one point, Charles and his older son had leaked Harry and Meghan's location in Canada, and he stopped taking Harry's calls. But he had no problem paying millions to silence a sexual, you know what, victim. May he inflict the worst kind of damage on that depraved institution. Where is the lie? And then said, suffer. Yes, absolutely. And you can see that Elmo is in hell saying, suffer. Yes, they can go straight to HE double hockey sticks as far as I'm concerned. And when they get there, I want them to suffer. No pity here, no sympathy, no empathy. I have none. And I'm going to put this up because it looks like the town of Windsor is sick of that family. They are. It is just so strange to me that all of a sudden they're doing everything in Windsor when nobody cared anything about Windsor except the Queen and Harry. And all of a sudden, they are doing everything in Windsor. Well, the town of Windsor is tired of them. Look at this. It says, Windsor has done the unthinkable. It has said no. No more footing the bill for royal spectacles. No more pretending that the economic benefits magically appear. No more swallowing the idea of being a royal town means being a permanent financial doormat. Yes, Windsor is sick of them. They used to do all this in London until the barrier poles turned against them. And all of a sudden now, they're all in Windsor. Everything is in Windsor now. Mm-hmm. But Windsor is sick of them. And I love this for them. I do. And this squatty said the public's feelings about the monarchy is changing so fast. We won't pay for the Windsor State visits. Council says the Royal Borough of Windsor and the Maidenhead said it had not been reimbursed after spending at least £350,000 on visits in 2025. Yes, they are putting this heavy, heavy financial burden on this very small town. And they're not even compensating for it. This is so raw. They don't care about anybody except themselves. And now the council is saying, too late, too little, too late. We're not paying anymore. If you have any more royal events, it's on you. Can you blame them though? Can you blame them? I don't. And I'm going to put this up. This was in the National, and it looks like they are sending their flying monkeys out. Now, they don't say who this is, but this looks like Jenny Bond to me. And this is what it says. It says the BBC's former royal correspondent has said the media should stop reporting on the monarch getting heckled. Can you believe it? Just stop reporting on it. It is ridiculous how these people will do anything to prop these people up, even going as far as to say not to report the news. You're a journalist, but do not report the news. If the royals get heckled, don't report it. This is crazy to me. But yet and still, Harry and Meghan, anything that happens, even if it's 5,000 miles away, they write article after article after article. They absolutely cannot understand the hypocrisy of it all. This squatty posted this and said, I thought you journalists like to boo the royals. I guess pedos aren't a deal breaker. Yes, and this particular squatty posted the article that Allison Pearson had said that she was going to boo Harry and Meghan herself. It says, I'll be one of the thousands booing Harry and Meghan if they attend the coronation. Yes, they have no problem with Harry and Meghan being booed and heckled, but not the pedo sympathizers, not the pedo protectors. No, do not boo them. Where is the shame? Where is the bottom when it comes to these people? Because I'm starting to believe it's not one. And I'm going to put this up because I don't quite know what to make of it. This kind of fell out of the JE files, and it's about a reporter that was really trying to look into Prince William, and this reporter connected Prince William with JE, and it fell out of the JE files. And I'm going to read what this squatty posted. It says, the British reporter chasing Prince William intel on JE Island telling you one thing, that it wasn't curiosity, that was smoke detection. Prince William is mentioned in the JE files. What y'all think about this? Why was a reporter asking questions about Prince William and JE's island? Now, could it be we have solved the mystery of the $500,000 or the 500,000 pounds that were paid by the other royals? And why the other royals felt compelled to contribute to Andrew's payout of Virginia Dufresne? What y'all think? Is a curiosity here. It says extraction. She informed Carrie that she was a reporter trying to get information on JE. She mentioned Mills and Miss Maxwell, Prince William, saying she required information and that she was going back at least 10 years. What y'all think that's about? An oddity. Just something that stands out and we don't know what's going on here. But someone was looking into Prince William in connection with J.E. Island. What y'all think this might be? I'm just throwing it out there for us to discuss. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up because squatties are having the best time ever since we found out that Earthflop is under investigation. Possibly, because it was reported to the Charity Commission. Now, we don't know if it's going to go under investigation or what they're going to do. I don't have a whole lot of hopes for it, but boy, it really feels good that this is some kind of comeuppance for Willie and how he treated Harry and Cinnabale. This particular squatty said, I'm so happy with the news below. And as you can see, scrutiny over JE linked donor to Earthflop. It says beautiful. What the Rangers wanted to happen to Archwell and Invictus games is possibly going to happen to Earth SHIT, but I lovingly call it Earthflop. Hashtag karma. I wonder which other debauched figures donated to Earthflop. It's no telling. It's no telling. But yet and still, he had the time to try to destroy Cinnabale. Isn't that something? Knowing what Earthflop was built on. It was built on the torture of young girls. I cannot. And I have to say this, the beautiful thing about this is he has no one to blame except himself. he cannot blame this on Harry. Harry didn't go in and try to destroy his work, his charity, his so-called charity, because we all know it's not really a charity, but I digress. But yes, Harry didn't do this like he did Cinnabale. So his downfall is his own, and that only makes it sweeter. Karma comes in and just makes it so sweet. I love it. And this particular squatty posted that article from National that I featured in my last podcast that says new Prince William's Earthflop Prize charity has been reported to the UK charity watchdog following fresh JE Files revelations. And we all know that Sultan that is a co-founder of Earthflop, he was in the JE Files talking about a torture video of young girls. Yes, this is what Earthflop is founded on. Can you imagine if this was Harry? Can you imagine what they would do to him? It would be unheard of, the persecution. But they are quiet as church mice, those flying monkeys are, and they will never be able to say anything else about any charity that Harry and Meghan is running. Y'all remember when Archwell first was launched? I think the first year or two of Archwell, they would go in and go over Archwell's taxes to see how much money they took in, how much was coming in, how much was going out. They made it their business to stick their nose where it didn't belong. But here they are, didn't even report on the fact that the co-founder was someone like this man right here. You think they didn't know it? They knew. They knew. And that is the reason why I have such a big problem with the UK media. They are acting so brand new in this scandal when they are just as a big part of it as that family over there, because they did nothing but prop that family up and hold all their secrets. I'm just saying. And the squatty that posted that said this: he sent his goons to destroy Prince Harry's Cinnabale, a children's charity. Karma is coming for his Earthflop. Praise the Lord. That's all I can say about it. Praise the Lord. And this squatty said, I think this is the first time his pet project went global. This squatty has me cackling. It says, by the way, how is the new crisis manager doing? To distance him from his uncle in the JE Files, let's send him to someone else in the JE Files who donated to his pet charity project. It is just all so delicious. I love this for Willie. I do. It is his comeuppance. Karma, Lady Karma, that heifer has put on her tight dress, her red bottom stilettos, and skipped and hopped her butt all the way over there to Kensington Palace and kiss Willie in the mouth. This squatty posted this repost, and the original post said, knowing how William did everything to undermine Harry's charities, karma hit Earthflop because of shady finances is, and then it says chef's kiss. Yes, it is chef's kiss. And it says those arrangers were going after Invictus Games, but it was all projection. Earth SHIT is shady AF. Yes, it is. It is very, very shady, very murky. And you know what we talked about last time in my podcast, my last podcast, how They give out the 3 installments, but you have to be making a profit. And if you don't make a profit as the second and third installment comes due, you don't get any money. That is crazy. I mean, and nobody knows who these prize winners are. It's shady as F. It really is. And I'm going to put this up because Kitty, yes, Kitty McButtons McMumbles, she was out and about today. Yes, their whole big plan to get through this scandal is to get out and try to pretend like they're worth something when the people continue to wake up to the fact that they're not worth anything, especially not $1 billion a year. But I digress. This is what LBC posted about her engagement. It says, kindness is the key. Kate shared heartfelt message to children during Mental Health Week school visit. Yes, it is so funny to me how she can be so performative in her kindness, in her caring. But once the mask slips, we really see the monster behind it. She doesn't care about any children except her own, because if she did, she would not have gone along with the protection of Andrew. I'm just saying, so miss me. And let me tell you this, they ate her up in these comments. They did. I don't see why LBC decided to post, because they ate her up. And this Swati posted a picture of her arriving. Look at her. She looks a mess. It says, oh, Kitty's outside looking shabby as her normal. Yes, she is. Trying to channel Megan by wearing a button down with the sleeves folded up and pushed up. Yes, this is Megan's style. We know it. But here she is. And this squatty came up under this other squatty's post and said, once she gets her hooks in Megan's style, she doesn't know how to let go. Now she will flog the shirts and folded cuffs to death. Girl, go back to your coat dresses. Yeah, she needs to. And she needs to go back to her natural hair. All these piles of wigs on her head is frightening. I'm just saying. And this particular person, this squatty, posted this, just the famous article about how her and Willie would prefer to live next to Andrew. Posted this under there and just simply said, which can't argue with her there. I'm just saying. I agree. And this squatty said someone might want to tell the crisis manager that the crisis is crisising. She's about to earn all that check dealing with the prince of PTO and his peekaboo princess. And I love that this particular squatty called Kitty Cat Peekaboo. Because when you think about it, she is a peekaboo. She comes out, then she goes in, she hides. It is so hilarious. Peekaboo princess. I love it. And I'm going to put this up. Look at this. This was in GB News, and it says royal family decorator was found hanging after King Charles criticized paint job. I cannot believe that these people take what, now it could have been something else going on with his life. I don't know. But if it was about what Charles considered, was acceptable or not, I cannot believe taking your life about that. And the squatter that posted this said, Megan was accused of abusing staff simply for existing in that space at that time. When the investigation found no such abuse occurred, it made zero headlines. Charles has been accused of tyrannical behavior against staff. One even unalived himself after being abused by him. And they say that is what happened. That he told him that he didn't like what he had done and he was going to get someone else to do it, to redo it. And this man unalived himself. I cannot believe it. Now, I hate to put this on Charles. I really do, because you got to have a stronger spirit. Who cares? But maybe he thought that this would, damage his business to the point where he couldn't make a living. I don't know. I don't know the culture of Great Britain enough to understand how this man might be feeling, but at least not what Charles thought. I would not have cared. I would have went on about my business. But they live and die by, having the royal emblem on their business. I guess they do. But these days, people pay that no attention. So I don't understand, but it might be a culture difference. I get that. I'm just saying. I'm going to put this up, and we have news from Norway. And this is from BBC World. What is it? BBC News World. And it says Norway's former prime minister charged with gross corruption over JE links. Yes. And the squatty that reposted this said, when are the vow Prince Andrew, still eighth in line for the British throne, and his long-term live-in ex-wife, corrupt Sarah, going to be arrested and charged? The UK is a mess. Well, Norway is moving on. And I'm going to put this up. This is from Norway as well. And it was posted by France 24 English. And it says Norway's parliament will launch an independent probe into JE's link to prominent Norwegians as new files reveals connections to politicians, royals, and the ultra-rich across Europe. Yes, they are moving forward with their investigation. Now, will they find anything? Now, that right there is the question. But that crown princess, the one that's going to be queen consort, I don't see how they can move forward with her. I really don't. No one will ever have any respect for her. She is going to be looked at like the horse. She is. Nobody has any respect for the horse. You saw how that congressman spoke about the horse. Nobody don't care. He never would have said that about Elizabeth II. He never would have said that. But the horse does not garner any respect because she is an old bed hopper. And this queen consort to be is worse than that. I hate to say it. She is. So I'm just saying, she will not have any respect if she ascends to the throne. And I'm going to put this up. And it looks like this loser right here, this Nile Gardner character, is back. Him and the Heritage Foundation has filed a new lawsuit to try to get their hands on Prince Harry's visa information. I kid you not, they are back, and they just filed yesterday. I cannot believe these people would continue this frivolous pursuit of Prince Harry, but yes, they have. I'm going to put it up. This particular squatty posted it, and it says, status report regarding the Heritage Foundation's attempt to assess visa records of Prince Harry. The Department of State having to waste their time. And as you can see, it was just filed on the 10th, 2 days ago. They have started this BS again. We will keep watching, y'all. But these people, I believe they just want to try to somehow persecute Harry because Harry came out of this whole JE mess as clean as anybody could have. He has absolutely come out of it, like I said earlier, like a shiny penny. But they want to try to muck him up and continue with this nonsense, trying to give him and his family more stress because they cannot stand the fact that he is living his best life and isn't a part of that train wreck of a family over there. But yes, they have filed a new lawsuit trying to get his visa information. I kid you not. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this one up. This is a replay. Yes, last night I put up this particular post at the end of my podcast. And I decided to do it again because another squatty had came in and commented on it. The original post says, it turns out that Harry and Meghan were the ones who were too good for the royal family. Where is the lie? And this particular squatty came in and commented on it and said, most of us do this from day dot. I guess you're now catching up. Welcome to the club of knowing what we already knew. Harry and Meghan was always too good for that royal destination. I love that name, destination. Yes, they were always too good for them. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.